All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, the Memphis Grizzlies entered these NBA playoffs with high expectations and for good reason, as they have one of the most exciting and young teams in the league. The Grizzlies won 56 games during the regular season, which is tied for the franchise's mark for the most wins in a season, as they also did it back in 2013. Now, Memphis was able to dispatch of the Minnesota Timberwolves in 6 games in the first round of the playoffs, which set up this long awaited showdown with the Golden State Warriors, who have won 3 NBA championships since 2015. But this Western Conference semifinal series between the Dubs and the Grizz got chippy from the opening tip of game one. You go back to the Draymond Green ejection, which led to a fine. And then, of course, the Warriors were able to secure the comeback victory on the road in that one. Game two in the early stages, the flagrant foul by Dylan Brooks on Gary Payton II. And of course, Brooks was ejected from that game for the flagrant two, and he was also suspended by the NBA for game three. And then, of course, if you're the Warriors, you definitely were ticked off by that play because now you no longer have the services of Gary Payton the second for this series and possibly the rest of the playoffs as he suffered a fractured elbow. Then, of course, the Ja Morant injury, and we saw Ja get injured in game number three of this series. The Grizz lost that game, and then subsequently, Ja Morant was not able to play in game number four, another contest that Memphis lost as they find themselves down 3-1 in this series. And as the Grizzlies have their back against the wall, it was just announced today that they're not going to have the services of Ja Morant for the rest of this series and possibly for the rest of the postseason with that bone bruise on his knee. And it's a sad end for one of the league's most exciting players. We really saw Ja Morant take his game to the next level during the season as he averaged more than 27 points per contest. And you could see, and I've talked about this before, Ja Morant didn't win the MVP award this season, but he definitely has an MVP award for the league in his future. You think about it, during the regular season, Memphis was 20-5 without Ja Morant. But the regular season and the postseason are two different beasts. And right now, this Memphis team definitely has a tiger by the tail with the Golden State Warriors. It's going to be difficult for Memphis to come back and win the next three potentially against Golden State in this series or anybody else in the postseason without Morant. He's just that good and he's just that important to what they do. And for me, win or lose for Memphis, this series right here with Golden State is going to be a learning experience for them from the standpoint that this Memphis team, they have what it takes, and you can see the potential there for them to do bigger and better things in the postseason. And honestly, you look at the way that Memphis plays and what they do, you can make the case that they are, a younger version of the Warriors, and this team could take that next step. We'll have to wait and see. But nonetheless, it's definitely bad news for the Grizz. Definitely bad news for Ja Morant because again, he's one of the game's younger and more exciting players. And he did it last year, and then even more this season. He is showing that he is not afraid of the postseason stage. He has that it factor, and he knows how to shine on the biggest stage. And now, his postseason for the most part looks like it's coming to an end early. And of course, if Ja Morant is not there, the Grizzlies really don't have that much to stand on. So let's see how this series finishes out for the Grizz. Let's see if they can rally. It's going to be easier said than done against this veteran laden Golden State team, but nonetheless, a tough loss for a very good Memphis squad. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast. here on YouTube. Want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 pounds of sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I'm signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.